Hello my dear students. See, in the previous class we have come across the concepts what you will be studying in the first chapter of statistics for economics, that is in the introduction chapter, isn't it? So today we shall continue with the concepts and the chapters what you will be studying in this statistics for economics. Okay. See, there you came across that you will be studying about what statistics does. What statistics does, or we can say that how statistics helps to understand economics. See, you can understand this through this following subpoints, that is how statistics helps to study economics. To study economics. See, even this concept is very important for the exam. Okay. And even to know the application part of statistics, and in order to apply that in economics we have to know these following subpoints. See, the statistics help us to understand economics in this following way, that is, firstly it helps to understand the economic problems. It helps to understand economic problems. Okay, it helps to understand what? Economic problems. Then it enables an economist to present economic facts in a precise and definite form. So we can represent, or we can present the economic facts in a precise manner. Okay, so it helps to present economic facts in a precise manner. Okay, in a precise manner. Then even this helps in condensing mass data into few numerical measures. Okay, so we can condense, means we can reduce the mass data into few numerical values or few numerical data measures. Okay, we can condense mass data. ಅಂದರೆ mass data means what? Huge data ಅಲ್ವಾ. ಇನ್ಫಾರ್ಮೇಷನ್ ತುಂಬ ಇದ್ದಾಗ ನಮಗೆ ಅನಲೈಸ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಇಂಟರ್ಪ್ರಿಟ್ ಮಾಡಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಕಷ್ಟ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಹಾಗಾಗಿ ನಮಗೆ ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಟಿಸ್ಟಿಕ್ಸ್ ಇನ್ ಎಕನಾಮಿಕ್ಸ್ ಯಾವ ರೀತಿ ಹೆಲ್ಪ್ ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ ಅಂದರೆ ವಿ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಕನ್ವರ್ಟ್, ವಿ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ರೆಡ್ಯೂಸ್ ದಿಸ್ ಮಾಸ್ ಡಾಟಾ ಇಂಟು ಅ ನ್ಯೂಮರಿಕಲ್, ಸ್ಮಾಲ್ ನ್ಯೂಮರಿಕಲ್ measures. Okay, into few numerical measures, into few numerical measures. So we can condense mass data into few numerical measures. Okay, then even this statistics help us in, it is used to find relationship between different economic factors. See, we can know the relationship or the interdependence between different economic factors. Between what? It helps to know the relationship, between various or different economic factors. Economic factors. Okay, then it helps in formulation of plans and policies. Even the statistics helps to study economics in this way, that is, it helps in formulating. Formulating means what? Making. Okay, in formulating policies, proper plans and policies. Okay, proper plans and policies. So this is how statistics helps to study economics. This you will be understanding in detail in the upcoming classes. Okay, then we shall move on to the next chapter, that is second chapter, that is collection of data. Okay, chapter second, that is collection of data. See, here you will be understanding how to collect the data. What are the different sources of collection of data? What are the different methods? So, what type of data you will be collecting in order to conduct a research work, or in order to collect the statistical values in the society or in the economy. What are the different types of data you will be collecting? About that you will be understanding here. Okay. So, here first we have to know what is meant by data. What is data? See, data means economic facts, isn't it? Data means what? Economic facts, what is happening in the economy, that we have to collect in order to solve the problem in the society or in the economy, what is there ಅಲ್ವಾ. ಸೊ ಸಮಾಜದಲ್ಲಿ ಏನೊಂದು ತೊಂದರೆ ಇದೆನೋ ಅದನ್ನು ಬಗೆಹರಿಸ್ಕೋಬೇಕು, ಸೊಲ್ಯೂಷನ್ ಪಡಿಬೇಕಪ್ಪ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಅಂದರೆ ನಾವೇನು ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ ಅಂದರೆ we will be collecting the data, means regarding what is the problem. Okay, then what are the causes of that problem, everything we have to know, then only we can provide the solution for the economic problem that is existing in the society, isn't it? So here you will come across what are the sources of data. Okay, what are the sources of data. Then before that, what is data actually? So data is a tool which helps in reaching a sound conclusion on the problem. See, data means it is a tool in order to get a proper solution or proper conclusion on the problem, that is known as what? Data. So in this chapter first you will be knowing what is data. Okay, then what are the sources of data? Sources of data. Sources of data. See, we have two types of sources of data collection, that is primary data, okay, and the other one is secondary data. Primary data and secondary data. We have two types of sources of data, that is primary data and another one is secondary data. What is meant by primary data? See, the data which is collected for the first time by the researcher or by the investigator can be called as what? Primary data. And another one is secondary data. What is meant by secondary data means the researcher uses the data which is already collected by the other researcher or by the other investigator for the second time, that is known as what? Secondary data. Primary data ಅಂದರೆ ರಿಸರ್ಚರ್ ಆದಂಥವ್ರು ಅಥವಾ ಎನ್ಯುಮರೇಟರ್ ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ ಅಥವಾ ಇನ್ವೆಸ್ಟಿಗೇಟರ್ ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ ಅಲ್ವಾ. ಯಾರೀಗ ಒಂದು ತೊಂದರೆಗೆ ಸೊಲ್ಯೂಷನ್ ಪಡಿತಿದ್ದಾರೋ, ರಿಸರ್ಚ್ ವರ್ಕ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೋ, ಸೊ ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ನಾವು ರಿಸರ್ಚರ್ ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಲ್ವಾ. ಸೊ ಆ ರಿಸರ್ಚರ್ ಆದವ್ರು ಏನು ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ ಅಂದರೆ ಯಾವುದೋ ಒಂದು ವಿಷಯನ ಯಾದ್ರ ಬಗ್ಗೆ? ಸೊ ಒಂದು ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ ಇದೆ ಎಕನಾಮಿಕ್ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮಲ್ಲಿ, ಪಾವರ್ಟಿ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ ಇಸ್ ಒನ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ಎಕನಾಮಿಕ್ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ ಇಸ್ನ't ಇಟ್? ಸೊ ಪಾವರ್ಟಿ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಸ್ಟಡಿ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀವಿ, ಕಾಸಸ್ ಏನು, ಹಾಗಾದರೆ ಯಾವ ರೀತಿ ನಾವು ಆ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮಿಂದ ಹೊರಗೆ ಬರ್ಬೋದು ಪಾವರ್ಟಿ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮಿಂದ ಅಂತ ಸ್ಟಡಿ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ ಅಂದರೆ ಒಬ್ಬ ರಿಸರ್ಚರ್ ಆದವರು. ಆವಾಗ ಪಾವರ್ಟಿ ರಿಲೇಟೆಡ್ ಇನ್ಫಾರ್ಮೇಷನ್ ಅಂದರೆ ಈ ಮೈಟ್ ಬಿ ಕ್ಯಾಲ್ಕುಲೇಟಿಂಗ್ ಹೌ ಮೆನಿ ಪೀಪಲ್ ಆರ್ ದೇರ್ ಹೂ ಆರ್ ಬಿಲೋ ಪಾವರ್ಟಿ ಲೈನ್, ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಹೂ ಆರ್ ಕಮಿಂಗ್ ಅಂಡರ್ BPL ಕ್ಯಾಟಗರಿ ಅಂತ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂಸ್ನ ಕಲೆಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ ಅಂದರೆ ಆವಾಗ ಆ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂಸ್ ಅವರು ಫಾರ್ ದ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಟೈಮ್ ದೇ ಆರ್ ಕಲೆಕ್ಟಿಂಗ್ ದ ಡಾಟಾ, ದೆನ್ ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ನೋನ್ ಆಸ್ ವಾಟ್? Primary data. Okay, so secondary data means what? The data which is already collected by others will be used in the research work by a researcher. So already ಬೇರೆಯವ್ರು ರಿಪೋರ್ಟ್ ರೆಡಿ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ, ಆಲ್ರೆಡಿ ನಿಮಗೆ ಆ ವಿಷಯ ಸಿಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ, ನ್ಯೂಸ್ ಪೇಪರಲ್ಲಿ ಆಗಿರ್ಬೋದು ಇಲ್ಲ ಮ್ಯಾಗ್ಝಿನ್ಸಲ್ಲಿ ಆಗಿರ್ಬೋದು. ಸೊ ಆ ವಿಷಯ ನೀವೀಗ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೋತಿದ್ದೀರಾ ನಿಮ್ಮ ರಿಸರ್ಚ್ ವರ್ಕಲ್ಲಿ ಅಂದಾಗ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ನಾವು ಸೆಕೆಂಡರಿ ಡಾಟಾ ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. ಓಕೆ, ಹಾಗಾದರೆ ಈ ಪ್ರೈಮರಿ ಡಾಟಾ ಯಾವ ರೀತಿ ಕಲೆಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀರಾ? ವಾಟ್ ಆರ್ ದ ಮೋಡ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಕಲೆಕ್ಟಿಂಗ್ ದಿಸ್ primary data? Then what are the different methods you can use? Means one is questionnaire method, isn't it? We can use the questionnaire method for collecting the data, isn't it? Questionnaire, what is meant by questionnaire? Questionnaire means it's a set of questions what a researcher will make it in order to get answers for certain concept, isn't it? That is known as what? Questionnaire. So questionnaire method ಇರ್ಬೋದು, ಇಲ್ಲ ಅಂದರೆ ಪರ್ಸ್ನಲ್ ಇಂಟರ್ವ್ಯೂ ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು, ಇಲ್ಲ ಟೆಲಿಫೋನ್ ಇಂಟರ್ವ್ಯೂ ಆರ್ ಮೇಲಿಂಗ್ questionnaire etc. Okay, so these are the different modes what a researcher can collect the primary data. Then other one we have, that is secondary data. See, we can obtain the secondary data by using these sources, that is through agency or through newspapers or government reports, documents, isn't it? Project reports which had been prepared by others, okay, books written by other researcher, like this. So these are the sources of collecting secondary data. So how many types of data are there? There are two types, one is primary and another one is secondary. So this you will be learning in this topic, that is sources of data. Okay, then you will be knowing about how do we collect the data. Okay, how do we collect the data? Data ಯಾವ ರೀತಿ ಕಲೆಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀರಾ ನೀವು? ಹಾಗಾದರೆ ಎಲ್ಲ ಓರಲಿ ಕೇಳ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಕಲೆಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಲಿಕ್ಕಾಗತ್ತಾ? ಹಾಗಲ್ಲ. ಹಾಗಾದರೆ ಯಾವ ರೀತಿ ಕಲೆಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀರಾ ಅಂದರೆ there is a preparation of instrument. What is that instrument? I said that it is through questionnaire. Through what? Through questionnaire, isn't it? So here you will be knowing what is meant by questionnaire and what are the different types of questions you can use. So there you can use open-ended questions and close-ended questions like that. Okay, then after that you will be knowing about mode of data collection. Okay, mode of data collection. Mode of data collection means how do you collect the data then? So it might be through personal interviews or mailing questionnaire or telephone interviews, like that. Okay, so you can collect the data by using the different methods or three different modes, that is one is personal interview and another one is mailing questionnaire and another one is telephonic interview. Okay, so what is meant by personal interview then? See, in this personal interview there is a face-to-face interaction between a researcher and a respondent, so that this researcher will be asking a questions for a respondent and respondent will be answering to that. That is known as what? Personal interview. And even you will be knowing the advantages and disadvantages of this personal interview. Then after that, mailing questionnaire, I said. What is that mailing questionnaire means? See, in this the questionnaire will be mailed to a respondent and that respondent is asked to send the filled questionnaire within a certain date, okay, to a researcher. That is known as what? Mailing questionnaire. Then other mode of collecting data is telephone interview. What do you mean by this? See, here a personal interview cannot be conducted by a researcher, means they may think of this mailing questionnaire, or other one is telephone interview. See, in this Telephone interview, what happens is researcher will be asking questions to a researcher will be asking question to a respondent, okay, one by one. So respondent had to give a answer. So it will be done through telephone, okay. And you will be knowing in this about the three modes of collecting data, that is personal interview, mailing questionnaire and telephone interview. Along with that, you will be knowing what are the advantages and disadvantages of using three different methods, okay. Then you will be knowing about pilot survey. What is this? Pilot survey. What do you mean by this pilot survey? Pilot survey andre ಏನಪ್ಪ ಅಂದರೆ it is a pre-testing of questionnaire. Pre-testing of questionnaire. So questionnaire ready ಆದ ತಕ್ಷಣ ಏನು ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ ನಾವು ಅಂದರೆ we will give that questionnaire to a small group of people and we check it, whatever the question I have framed is right or wrong, can I get a appropriate answer or what. So that is known as what? Pilot survey, okay. Then you will be knowing about census and sample surveys. Census and sample survey, okay. What do you mean by this census? Have you come across this word? ಈ ವರ್ಡ್ ಎಲ್ಲರೂ ಕೇಳಿದ್ದೀರಾ? census ಆ ರೀತಿ? Yes, teachers will be conducting this census. They will be collecting this data, isn't it? So teachers will be involved in conducting this census work which has been assigned by the government of India, isn't it? So census andre enappa andre it will be conducted once in 10 years. See, in census entire population will be considered. So we will collect the population size and it will be conducted once in 10 years, okay. Then so we can say that it is a survey which includes every element of population for conducting what for calculating the population size or to know the population size in our country. Our country may put a effort to conduct this census survey ಅಲ್ವಾ. ಸರ್ವೆ ಮಾಡ್ತಿದ್ದೀವಿ ನಾವು, ಸೆನ್ಸಸ್ ಸರ್ವೆಗೆ ಹಾಕಿದ್ದಾರೆ ವರ್ಕಿಗೆ. ಟೀಚರ್ಸ್ ಹೇಳೋದೆಲ್ಲ ನೀವು ಕೇಳಿರ್ಬೋದಲ್ವಾ, ಗೌರ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಟೀಚರ್ಸ್ ಯೂಶಲಿ. ಸೊ ಅದೇನಪ್ಪ ಅಂದಲ್ಲಿ ಪಾಪ್ಯುಲೇಷನ್ ಸೈಜ್ನ ತಿಳ್ಕೊಬೋದು ನಾವು. ಇಲ್ಲ ಅಂದರೆ ಹೂವು ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಬಿ ಪಿ ಎಲ್ ಕ್ಯಾಟಗರಿ ಅಂತ ಗೊತ್ತಾಗುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ಬಿ ಪಿ ಎಲ್ ಕ್ಯಾಟಗರಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಎಷ್ಟು ಜನ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ ಅಂತ ನಾವು ತಿಳ್ಕೊಂಡ್ರೆ ಪಾವರ್ಟಿ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ ಎಷ್ಟಿದೆ ಅಪ್ಪ ನಮ್ಮ ದೇಶದಲ್ಲಿ, ಬಡತನ ಅನ್ನೋದು ಎಷ್ಟು ಮಟ್ಟಿಗಿದೆ ಅನ್ನೋದೆಲ್ಲ ತಿಳ್ಕೊತೀವಿ ನಾವಲ್ವಾ. ಸಿ ಬೈ ಯೂಸಿಂಗ್ ದಿಸ್ ಅ ಗೌರ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಟೇಕ್ ಅ ಮೆಷರ್ ಟು ಎರಾಡಿಕೇಟ್, ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಟು ರಿಮೂವ್ ದಿಸ್ poverty problem from our society, okay. Then you have other concept like sample survey. What is this sample survey means? See, population or the universe in statistics means totality of the items under study. See, in this sample survey you come across the word like population. What is population? Population means all the units in the society will be considered. Every individual will be considered. That is known as what? Population. Population ಅಂದ್ರೇನು? ಜನಸಂಖ್ಯೆ ಅಲ್ವಾ. ಸೊ ಈ ಪಾಪ್ಯುಲೇಷನಲ್ಲಿ ನೀವು ಯಾವುದಾದ್ರೂ ಒಂದು ಯೂನಿಟ್ನ ಸೆಲೆಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಿದ್ದೀರಾ, ಒಬ್ಬ ಇಂಡಿವಿಜುವಲ್ನ ಸೆಲೆಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಿದ್ದೀರಾ ಅಂದರೆ ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ನೋನ್ ಆಸ್ ವಾಟ್? ಸ್ಯಾಂಪಲ್ ಸರ್ವೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ಬೋದಲ್ವ. ಸ್ಯಾಂಪಲ್ ಅಂದ್ರೇನು? ಸಿ ಇನ್ ದಿಸ್ ಸೆನ್ಸಸ್ ಯು ವಿಲ್ ಕನ್ಸಿಡರ್ ದ ಎಂಟೈರ್ ಪಾಪ್ಯುಲೇಷನ್ ಅಂಡರ್ ಸ್ಟಡಿ, okay. In this sample survey only one unit of that population will be considered for study, that is known as what? Sample survey, okay. So a sample refers to a group or a section of the population from which the information is to be obtained, alva. So then you will be knowing about what is research problem. Then after that you will be knowing about the different types of sampling also, okay. Different types of sampling. Different types of sampling, that is one is random sampling, okay, and another one is non-random sampling. Non-random sampling. Non-random sampling. What is meant by random sampling? See, the name itself is suggesting as that a sample which is selected randomly among all the available population. So random sampling is one where the individual unit from the population are selected at ರ್ಯಾಂಡಮ್ ಅಲ್ವಾ. ಸೊ ಎಂಟೈರ್ ಪಾಪ್ಯುಲೇಷನಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾವುದಾದ್ರೂ ಒಂದು ಸ್ಯಾಂಪಲ್ನ ನಾವು ರ್ಯಾಂಡಮಾಗಿ ಪಿಕ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ. ಓಕೆ, ಸೊ ಹಿಯರ್ what happens is every individual is having a probability of being selected, that is random sampling. Then what is non-random sampling? See, in this what happens is here all the units of population do not have a equal chance of being selected, and a convenience or judgment of the investigator plays a very important role in this non-random sampling. See, in this non-random sampling all the units of population are not having a equal chance of being selected. Non-random ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಹಂಗೆ ಸುಮ್ಮನೆ ಹಂಗೆ ಪಿಕ್ ಮಾಡಲ್ಲ, ನಾವು ಇದನ್ನೇ ಪಿಕ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕಪ್ಪ, ಈ ಸ್ಯಾಂಪಲ್ನೇ ತೊಗೋಬೇಕು, ಈ ಯೂನಿಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಪಾಪ್ಯುಲೇಷನ್ನೇ ತೊಗೋಬೇಕು ನಾವು ಸ್ಟಡಿಗೆ ಅಂತ ಅಂದ್ಕೊಂಡಿರ್ತೀವಿ. ಸೊ ಹಾಗಾಗಿ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಪ್ರತಿಯೊಂದು ಇಂಡಿವಿಜುವಲ್ ಸ್ಯಾಂಪಲ್ ಕೂಡ ಏನಾಗಿರುತ್ತೆ ಅಂದರೆ it will not have a equal chance of being selected, we can say. Okay, then after that you will be knowing about sampling and non-sampling errors. Okay, sampling and non-sampling errors. Sampling and non-sampling errors. What is meant by sampling error? See, sampling error means it is the difference between the actual value and the estimated value of the samples. So that difference you can call it as what? Sampling error. And another one is what? Non-sampling error. What is that? See, this non-sampling error means it is more serious than the sampling error, because we can minimize the sampling error, but this non-sampling error, no, we cannot minimize it. Okay, then you will be knowing about Census of India and NSSO. Census of India and NSSO. Okay, see, we know that we have some agencies at national level and state level which are there to collect, process and tabulate the statistical data of our nation. So you will be studying about these agencies in this topic, that is Census of India and NSSO. Do you know the expansion of NSSO? What is that NSSO stand for? It is National Sample. NSSO refers to National Sample Survey Organization. So in this you might be knowing this some of the agencies at national level of Census of India which conducts the Census of India, that is NSSO, National Sample Survey Organization, or you might be knowing about CSO. Okay, you may come across here NSSO, then CSO, then RGI. Okay, then after that you will be knowing about DGCIS. Then what does it refers to? What is the expansion of this then? See, NSSO means National Sample Survey Organization. What is this CSO? CSO ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನಪ್ಪ ಅಂದರೆ Central Statistical Organization. ಇದೆಲ್ಲ ನಿಮಗೆ 1 ಮಾರ್ಕಿಗೆ ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್. ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪ್ಯಾಂಡ್ NSSO, ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪ್ಯಾಂಡ್ DGCIS, ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪ್ಯಾಂಡ್ CSO ಅಂತ ಕೇಳ್ತಾರೆ. ಓಕೆ, ಸೊ CSO ಅಂದರೆ ಏನಪ್ಪ ಅಂದರೆ ಸೆಂಟ್ರಲ್ ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಟಿಸ್ಟಿಕಲ್ ಆರ್ಗನೈಸೇಷನ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ. Next, what is RGI? RGI means Registrar General of India, and we have other one, that is DGCIS. What is that? It is the expansion of it is Directorate General of Commercial Intelligence and Statistics. Okay, so about this you will be knowing in this, that is Census of India and NSSO. Okay, so you will be studying, that is what does this Census of India provide the information, what sort of information does it give. So Census of India ಯಾವ ರೀತಿ ಇನ್ಫಾರ್ಮೇಷನ್ ಕೊಡುತ್ತೆ ಅಂದರೆ it provides the most complete and continuous demographic record of population. So area wise, according to the geographical area, it will be giving about the population size, it will be providing the information about the population. Okay, who does this? It will be done by this Central Statistical, that is Census of India, will be doing this by using these different agencies, that is Central Statistical Organization you can take. Then this census is being regularly conducted how many years once it is conducted? We have to remember that census is conducted once in 10 years. Okay, census na ಎಷ್ಟು ವರ್ಷಕ್ಕೊಂದ್ಸರಿ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ ಅಂದರೆ census is conducted once in 10 years. Census is conducted once in 10 years. Very important it is. Okay, very important point. Census is conducted once in 10 years. So mention some agencies which are involved in Census of India. It includes what? NSSO, CSO, then DGCIS, then RGI, then apart from that we have Labor Bureau, etc. like that. Okay, then this census officials collect information on various aspects of population based on size, density, gender, how many males and females are there. Okay, then what is the literacy rate, what about the migration value, then rural urban distribution, like that. So they will be calculating the information on this basis and they will be providing the information. Okay, then you will be knowing about NSSO also. What is the expansion of NSSO? NSSO andre yav riti expand ಮಾಡ್ತೀರಾ? NSSO andre National Sample Survey Organization ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ಬೋದಲ್ವಾ. So here you will be knowing when it was established, like that. The NSSO was established by the government of India, okay, in order to conduct nationwide surveys on socio-economic issues. So socio-economic issues ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಇನ್ಫಾರ್ಮೇಷನ್ನ ಕಲೆಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಲಿಕ್ಕೋಸ್ಕರ NSSOನ ಎಸ್ಟಾಬ್ಲಿಷ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ವಿ. ಓಕೆ, ದೆನ್ ದಿಸ್ NSSO ಡಸ್ ಕಂಟಿನ್ಯೂಸ್ ಸರ್ವೇಸ್ ಇನ್ ಸಕ್ಸೆಸಿವ್ ರೌಂಡ್ಸ್. See, the data collected by NSSO are released through the reports and it is quarterly journal, that is Sarvekshana anta karithivi. Okay, see, NSSO releases the Sarvekshana. ಸರ್ವೇಕ್ಷಣ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ. ಓಕೆ, ಸೊ ಕ್ವಾರ್ಟರ್ಲಿ ಜರ್ನಲ್ ವಿ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ವಿಚ್ ಈಸ್ ರಿಲೀಸ್ಡ್ ಬೈ ದ NSSO, ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ವಿ ಕಾಲ್ ಇಟ್ ಆಸ್ ವಾಟ್? ಸರ್ವೇಕ್ಷಣ. ಸರ್ವೇಕ್ಷಣ ಇಸ್ ವಾಟ್? ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಅ quarterly journal released by NSSO in the form of reports. So NSSO will release the reports, okay, that is quarterly journal, that is known as what? Sarvekshana. Okay, so this is about the chapter, that is collection of data. So in the upcoming class you will be knowing the further concepts of statistics of economics. Okay, I'll continue in the next class. Thank you.